It's finally beginning to feel like spring. I've been taking advantage of the warmer days, getting a lot of work done on the homestead, and preparing the garden for spring planting. We've had a mild winter this year, but it's been so dark and gloomy. So seeing the sun over the past couple of weeks has made me excited for the spring season. There's always so much work to do to get the garden ready. I'm going out of town next week, so I've been trying to get as much done as I can so that when I return, I can start planting seeds. Every year in the garden is different. It'll be my 4th grow season here, so I can't wait to see what it's going to look like as everything grows. This year, I decided to make a few changes. I added another raised bed, and I've been gathering stones so that I can build a spiral herb garden. I've been wanting to build one of these for quite some time, and I plan to fill it with herbs, flowers, and medicinal plants. I also put together a new cedar obelisk so that I can grow more beans in the garden. The goats insisted on keeping me company while I tried to figure out how to build it, because it came with no instructions.
Dias de chão, dias de terra, arranhando a emoção. Passos em vão, eu quero a canção. Meu coração aqui do sul mandou dizer que faz frio. No meu som nada restou. Dias a sós e passará o fevereiro por nós. Neste tambor não vou sambar neste carnaval. Você me deixou meio sem sal, sem poemas, deixou meu samba enredo sem tom, meu carro sem cor, e a avenida vazia, e a avenida vazia, e a avenida vazia, e a avenida vazia. Dias de chão, dias de terra, arranhando a emoção. Passos em vão, eu quero a canção. Que me desperte da tal ilusão. Meu coração aqui do sul mandou dizer que faz frio. No meu som nada restou. Dias a sós neste tambor. Não vou sambar neste carnaval. Você me deixou meio sem sal, sem poemas, deixou meu samba enredo sem tom, meu carro sem cor, e a avenida vazia, 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 e a avenida vazia.
A few weeks ago, I planted my ginger starts, but shortly after, my wasabi plant arrived, so I had to transplant that as soon as possible. I tried growing wasabi last year, but it didn't turn out, so I decided to try again this year. Growing wasabi outdoors can be challenging where I'm at, so I'm growing it in a pot. I'll have to be careful not to overwater it, which is what I think happened last time. Wasabi likes water, but not too much, so it's a delicate balance that I'm still working on. Hopefully, it'll grow this time. Every year when it begins to feel like spring, I'm always so eager to get outside and start preparing the garden. Over winter, I order all of my seeds and supplies. I start dreaming about what I want to grow, the new things I want to try, and where it's all going to go. That way, once the season begins to change, I can be ready to go. I had a lot of compost left from last fall, so I got right to work topping the beds with a fresh layer.
When the songbirds sing, it is time to go water the garden. For my grandma said it is good for the soul. And on wings of prayer, Lord, I ask for your pardon. There are many ways I need to be made whole. When the songbirds stop and I feel like I've been a failure, 'cause the things I've taught haven't come out the way I heard you teach me, Lord. I ask for your grace. I must leave the results to be handled by thee. When I hear your voice and it's time to come home to heaven, may I leave a
clutter of the day. Let it all just melt away. It's nobody. Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody. Raging battles in your head. Toss and turn you in your bed. For nobody. Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody.
I added some amendments too, such as blood meal for nitrogen, kelp, and azomite for extra minerals. I tested my soil last year, and my garden was in desperate need of nitrogen. So adding these amendments will make sure that the plants will have what they need to be healthy and strong. As the season continues, I'll feed the plants a homemade fertilizer using Korean natural farming methods. I love it because it's made with natural, earthy ingredients like humic acid, potatoes, sea salt, and rock dust. It's super cheap to make and 100% organic. It takes a little time to prepare, but I can make a large batch and always have some on hand. A little bit of it goes a long way. I'm excited because on my upcoming trip, I'll be visiting an organic permaculture farm in Hawaii, where they use the Korean natural farming methods too, but on a much larger scale. I'll be sitting in on one of their workshops, showing how it's done, so I can't wait to learn more. When I get back, I'll share with you what I learned and my time on their Hawaiian farm. Getting the homestead and garden ready for spring is a lot of work, but a process that I have grown to love. There's just something special about that moment the temperature begins to change and the sun begins to rise a little earlier in the morning. When the clouds break and the sun shines more brightly, spreading its light over the earth, I begin to see small buds form on the trees and hear the geese returning. There's nothing better than watching Mother Earth work her magic, creating new life everywhere. And I love being part of that process too, preparing the soil and planting the seeds that will sprout new life and bring more color and vibrancy into this world. Something we could all use a little more of.